What's up, y'all? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy JP, the Install Guy here, hoping to make your install life a whole lot easier. Today, we're going to be answering a question that I've been getting a lot lately. How much does a new car audio system cost? Now, even though that question may seem simple, the answer is not that simple. There's too many components that you have to consider. Car stereos, speakers, subs, amps, wires, accessories. If you can't physically put a new car stereo inside your car, then now we need to start talking about integration modules. So that's line output converters, digital sound processors. Instead of giving y'all like one long hour, 2-hour detailed video, I decided to give you a series of small detailed videos. And today we're going to be talking about car stereos. So when you're buying your new car stereo, it's going to be two sizes that you can choose from, a single DIN and a double DIN. The standard single DIN size is a little bit over 7 by 2 inches, and the double DIN size is a little over 7 inches by 4 inches. And so with that double DIN, it doesn't matter if you have a 6-inch screen, 7-inch screen, or a 10-inch screen. The external dimensions of the actual radio part has to be the same, because you have brands out here like Metro Electronics that build parts for your vehicle to accept any style of radio, and that part is called the dash kit. Every vehicle doesn't have an exact single DIN or double DIN opening, so when you remove your factory radio out your car and you try to install an aftermarket car stereo, it's literally going to be a radio sitting inside a hole because you have no way to mount it, and that radio is not going to take up all the space. That's the beautiful part about having a dash kit. This mounts to the aftermarket car stereo, and then it actually reuses the factory mounting locations to mount the radio. And for the negative space that the radio doesn't fill in, the dash kit fills that in, making it look like it's supposed to be there. The dash kit is very important. You have to have it. So the cost of that dash kit can range from a couple bucks to a couple $100, and that literally depends on what type of car you got. If you got a 2002 Chevy Silverado where you just have to drop the steering column, drop the gear shift, pull that dash off and press those 2 tabs and pull out the radio, then your dash kit is going to be like 20 bucks. But the more that your dash and your radio does, the more it has to be integrated. For example, if you have a Camaro, the lock and unlock button is built inside of the dash. So when you change your car stereo out, your dash kit has to replicate that lock and unlock feature. So now we're not just talking about a molded piece of plastic, we're talking about something that's going to retain your functionality, and it has to color match because it has to look the same. And just like some of the Mustangs, your heated seat controls and your AC controls is built inside the radio. So not only do you need the right dash kit for your vehicle, but you may need the right radio to help retain some of those features. Speaking of features, when you take your factory radio out, everything that was tied to that radio is going to go with it. So that means your factory navigation, your factory Bluetooth, your steering wheel controls, your factory backup camera, satellite radio, factory amplifier, even your little USB and auxiliary. All that goes with the factory radio. The back of your factory car stereo may have multiple wire harnesses and connectors that control a lot of those features that you may lose when you take the factory radio out. Now, even though all of those features that I named can be retained with the aftermarket car stereo, the connections on the back of this radio do not match the exact same ones that came from your factory radio. So that means you're going to have to get other parts in order to retain all that stuff. The first part you're going to need is an aftermarket wire harness. Now, yes, the aftermarket car stereo does come with a harness, but that is the radio harness. You need a car harness. The aftermarket car harness's job is to transform those factory wire colors to aftermarket wire colors. That way it makes installation as easy as possible. But the more features you have and the more features that you want to retain may potentially raise the price up on how much that car harness is going to be. There may be some cases where you don't care about retaining some of that stuff. You just want to get a cheaper wire harness, or you're not going to spend that much money on an expensive wire harness because that costs more than a radio. And I get it, but at the same time, sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you have to buy the harness because they don't make another harness for it, because you may have what's called a CAN bus radio, or simply put, a data radio. You got 2 wires behind the radio that communicate between the computer of the car and the radio. So when you cut your car on, the computer tells the radio to turn on. If this is your case, then you have to have that module to communicate between the radio and the computer. And in most cases, they will retain your steering wheel controls and backup cameras and stuff like that. So it's kind of worth it to go ahead and get it, regardless if you want to retain that stuff or not. So with so many different types of vehicles out there with different trim packages, and since there's so much involved in just changing the car stereo, how do you know what parts to get? And honestly, some of y'all don't even know what type of car you got. All you know is you got a 2012 Camry and your radio don't work. You don't know if it's JBL, amplified, non-amplified. You know it got a backup camera, but that don't work because the radio don't work. And most importantly, how do you know you're not gonna get ripped off? You work hard for your money, and me personally, I would never oversell anybody on any piece of car audio equipment. I'm a big fan of spending your money where it counts the most. So not only do you need experience, you need somebody who you can trust. And that's why I will always tell people you should shop with Crutchfield. Crutchfield is actually sponsoring this video, helping me spread all this car audio knowledge for you. So the salesmen over at Crutchfield aren't commission based, so there's no pressure in trying to upsell you. They only want to get you exactly what you need. They've been in business for over 50 years, so that's a lot of experience, and that means they've done all the research. Their vehicle fit guide is extremely easy to use. They even have little detailed pictures on there so you can know exactly what trim level you have for your vehicle, so you get the exact parts you need for your installation. If you're going to be doing this yourself, they have vehicle detail specific instruction sheets that you can get for your car. And if you have any type of trouble, they have the best tech support in the business, and it's free. They also have product price protection, and what that means is that if you bought a car stereo today and it went on sale within the next 60 days, they will refund you the difference just to make sure that you didn't miss out on the lowest price. If you guys want to check out Crutchfield, all those links will be down there in the description so you can see for yourself. So in the beginning, we talked about all the features that you're going to lose. Now I want to tell you how you can retain all of those features, and we're going to start with Bluetooth. So you don't have to worry about your factory Bluetooth because every aftermarket car stereo pretty much comes standard with Bluetooth. So that's going to be your streaming music and your wireless hands-free calling. So when it comes to retaining your navigation, you do have two options. You have the built-in GPS, and then you have integrated GPS. Built-in GPS will be something like a Kenwood radio that has built-in Garmin maps inside the head unit. And these head units are a little bit more expensive because of that GPS component inside the radio. Integrated GPS is pretty much what all of you guys want anyway, because when you're traveling, you're usually using the maps off your phone, whether that's Waze, Google Maps, the preloaded Apple Maps that come with the iPhones and stuff like that. So you may want to get something that has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and with that you still have two different options. And simply put, wired CarPlay and Android Auto means you have to plug your phone in order for the maps to display on your radio, and wireless means that once you pair your phone up, it's going to wirelessly display onto the radio. Steering wheel controls can be retained a couple different ways. They do make steering wheel control modules for the vehicles that only have steering wheel controls on top of your base model cars, and that could be the Maestro SW, the Pack Suite CP2, or the Access ASW C1. These are standalone modules that will allow you to install this with your aftermarket radio so it can communicate between your factory controls and your car stereo. Now, depending on the type of vehicle you have, you may not have to buy a standalone module. You may buy the more expensive wire harness, and it has steering wheel controls pre-programmed. So that means that you don't even have to install it. Like for a Chevy Silverado that takes a Pack RP5 GM31, all you have to do is flip the dip switches to whatever radio that you have, plug it in, and your steering wheel controls work. You don't have to worry about a key 1, key 2, steering wheel control ground reference wire, none of that. Plug it in and it works, which makes that wire harness, it makes it worth it, spending the extra money on that harness. With your backup camera, they do make backup camera retention cables. Some of these cables are plug and play. Some of them come with a 12 volt to 6 volt converter. Now, the reason you need that converter is that your factory camera is not a 12 volt camera. It's usually a 5 volt or 6 volt camera. So what you need to do is you need to use that converter to take that 12 volt reverse trigger and drop it down to 6 volts. That way you don't destroy your factory camera if you're trying to retain it. Now, I say the best for last. Sirius XM satellite radio. Very, very big misconception of your radio saying Sirius XM ready and people thinking that it has Sirius XM built inside of it. Sirius XM is not going to give their technology to any brand. Why would they? But what they have done is they made a tuner called the V300 that you can plug into any one of the aftermarket radios that says Sirius XM ready. So what that means is that if you have a Sirius XM radio, your radio is ready to receive the Sirius XM V300 tuner with this plug right here in the back. Now with the Sirius XM, you can either get that V300 and control it within the radio and have a satellite antenna for your Sirius XM, or depending on your subscription, you could just have the Sirius XM app, which means that you can Bluetooth your satellite radio, or if you're using your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, there will be another Sirius XM app on your display to where you can control it through there. Just know that you'll be using your cell data if you choose to do it that way versus having the actual antenna. That's the pros and cons we was talking about. So at this point, you're probably thinking, I still don't know how much it costs to put a radio inside my car. I understand there's a lot of information. I just feel like it's extremely important to understand all the stuff that goes into it so we can have realistic expectations when it comes down to how much it costs. Now, I can't go over every scenario, that would be impossible, but I do want to give you guys a better understanding of how much it costs. So we're going to go over a few examples and how easy it is to use the Crutchfield Fit Guide. For our first base model vehicle, we're going to start off with a 2005 Chevy Silverado 1500. This is going to be the pickup crew cab. It's going to be the non-Bose system. And as you can see, this is one of those detailed pictures I was telling you about where it gives you exactly what to look for to see if you have a premium sound system or not, but our truck does not have that, so we're going to click no. Also, if you have tweeters behind the grille, we don't have those, so we're going to click no, and we do not have OnStar. Now that we're here, we're going to scroll down and you can see Crutchfield's research. We will see that there is some pictures right here where it'll show us speaker locations, what the truck looks like, what the radios look like. That way we can try to double check. There's also some step-by-step instructions on our master sheet, and we're going to keep going down to see what all fits. And when we go under car stereos, we can see that we have 180 different car stereos that fits this truck. I definitely want to do a touchscreen radio. I don't care about a CD player, so I'm going to go to digital media video receiver. I know I want a Kenwood. Crazy enough, the first one that pops up is this Kenwood DMX40S. It's not a whole lot of money, but it does show that it's going to give me some features. 6.8-inch screen. It does have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, so that's good. I don't care about wireless, so $319 for a radio is going to do me just fine. Now it's going to give me the list of parts that I need, and it's going to show me the difference between do I want the most features or do I want the lowest price. I can also go over here to see all packages to see if they give me anything in between, and it does. When we scroll down and see view products, it'll show us a dash kit, it'll show us a wire harness, it'll show us an antenna adapter, and it'll also show us our Crutchfield master sheet. Regular price $96.97, but it's on sale right now for $46.97. Now I'm going to look at that middle package just to see what's going to be that $30 difference, to see if it's going to actually make sense for me to spend a little bit more money. Now where it says Chevrolet features and you look in the middle, it says steering wheel controls and steering wheel controls made simple. So that pretty much means that the wire harness that comes into this one is going to be different because it's going to retain the steering wheel controls. Now if you have steering wheel controls, you might want to spend the extra $30, get the better harness, that way you can retain that feature. But since this is the absolute base model truck, we don't need it. We're going to stick with the $46.97. Now before it goes to the full checkout screen, it's going to let us know that if I didn't want to wire this up myself, they would do that for me for $27.99. I am an installer, so I don't necessarily need this, but for the people who don't have the tools, don't have the knowledge, or don't have the time to do it, an extra $27.99 is going to be real good for you. I'm going to click no thanks. I already have the tools, so I'm just going to go to my cart. As we can see right here, we got $319 for the radio, $46.97 in parts, and they're going to ship this thing for free. And our total cost to change the radio out in our car as far as the products is $365.97. And that's going to be the total cost just for the parts. Now we have to talk about labor. If you don't know how to do any type of installation, then you're going to have to find a shop that you trust to install your radio. And that's going to be the only variable that I can't give you right off the bat because I don't know what area you're in and I don't know what shops are going to charge. If you have a friend that'll do it for free, then you don't have a labor charge. If you have a friend that knows what he's doing, but he'll charge you $50, then your labor will be $50. If you go to a shop and their hourly rate is $100 an hour, or if they have a base rate of $120 to install a radio, then that will be your labor cost. For somebody who lives in a place where they charge $120 to install a radio, then your cost will be $485.97. So now that we got the cost for our base model truck, let's do another example of something that we know the parts are going to be a little bit more expensive. So right here, we're going to do 2017 Ford Mustang. Doesn't necessarily matter for coupe or convertible unless you're talking about speakers, because your speakers may be in a different area. This one does have the Shaker Pro audio system because we are going to be premium with this Mustang. But notice when you scroll down to car stereos, we don't have over 150 different radios. We only have a total of 61 radios that can fit this vehicle. That's because every radio won't be good for this Mustang. Remember, your AC controls, your heated seats is all done in the radio. So we need to make sure that our radio is iDataLink Maestro ready, because that's going to allow us to gain the most features as possible. Crazy enough, that Kenwood that we got the last time is iDataLink compatible, and if it wasn't, they wouldn't give it to us as an option. So we're going to click that. So you pull up to the parts page on this one, you'll notice that we don't have the same options that we had last time. This is why I was telling you that sometimes there's only one brand that makes one specific thing for your vehicle, and if you want to swap that radio out, it's the only way that you can go. And this was going to be $389.96. Comes with the iDataLink dash kit, iDataLink Maestro radio replacement module, the separate T-harness that you have to have for it because the module is just the module itself. It doesn't come with the wires. And if we want to retain that factory backup camera, we have to get the camera retention cable as well. So with the Kenwood radio being $319 plus $389.96 worth of parts, comes out to a grand total of $708.96. Don't forget you got to factor in your labor. So if you're doing this yourself, then you're right at $708. So if you're going to a shop and they charge you $100, then you're going to be $100 plus that $708, which brings you to $808.96. So the exact same radio that cost us $365 to put in the Chevy truck costs us more than double to put inside this Ford Mustang. That's going to be just about it for this video, man. I hope I was able to teach you guys something. If I did, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share, comment if you want to. Big shout out to Crutchfield for trusting me to give you guys the information, and hopefully I was able to make your install life a little bit easier. If I didn't confuse you, but at least I was able to shed some light on what it takes to actually get a radio put inside your vehicle, an easier way to do it, and a better company to get your products from. Don't forget, all those links are in the description. And until next time, this is your boy JP signing out, telling y'all to keep going, keep growing, and have a blessed day. Peace.